Xzibit's DNA on Restless also features Snoop Dogg, of course, and you guys have done so much work together. Um,
Hmm.
I wanted you to get kind of with Snoop being on that song and then all the stuff you've did with him since then as
Hmm.
your material and with him.
Hmm.
But as a producer, why does that contrast work so well of something that's super hard and Snoop has more of a softer
Yeah.
voice? Why does that work so well, do you think?
I don't know, man. It's really the texture and tone. Like I said, moving your body water. How does he, and his voice, his texture and tone. And then the content would be hard. He just smooth with it. But so the content would be hard with the beat, and he could just do so you could do so much with him as an instrumentalist. Like his instrument is his voice, and he could do so much with it. Whether if it's just a certain now somebody just yells with that's all you're gonna get with that. But with him, he could do a smooth ass beat with him, mellow, musical, or you can do it a slap, simple, three sounds, a clap, bass line, and a kick, and he could, he's just one of those special ones. Over all these years, he's just been able to mainly the tone and texture with Snoop. It just moves your body water a certain way to where you. That's why he's still here. People loved him so much, but yeah, working with him first, it was Xzibit, and we were working on a Madden 91, I believe. No, 2001, 2000. And Snoop came through for one of them songs we did on Xzibit. We pulled that beat up, he knocked it down, and we just connected from there. Me and Snoop, he was like, man, he thought the shit was dope. And we just started connecting, and then over the years, we really did a few things. Now, more recently, we've been working a lot more too. But yeah, so I don't know, man. That's just Snoop. That's just his gift. For me, it's not brain science to me because I just do what I do, and he just does what he does, and like what did Jay Z said, "Oh, crack the door, let God in," or whatever. It's like that. All you can do is look back. With Snoop, he's real. I always ask him, man, how the fuck do you do all this shit? Like, you doing so much and you smoking all the time. Like, how the fuck do you do it? So he's real inspiring. You know what I'm saying? The longevity, the work ethic, um, the history. You sit and talk about just hip hop, shit he didn't sing and been, and his own story that hella well. His story is like part of your story. The whole death row and going to court and I'm not guilty, all that shit. We just know it. So I don't know. He's a room bender, that's for sure. Like he like and the room will just bend and shit. Like he was like his aura is powerful. But anyway, yeah, that's definitely I couldn't say there's a certain way I approach it fucking with him. It's just I just do what I do, send him some. I might right now I'll send Snoop some shit with a lot of shit I'll put hooks on him or different idea. I might send him something with me rapping like him in a certain style or something, just freestyling. And, so it's these days it's way easier, you know what I'm saying? Shoot shit, get ideas across and, you know, way more accessible than back in the day. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Okay. Well, I know we've been talking forever, so I only got a couple more questions on this round at least. But
Okay.
one thing that really impressed me with the Fabulous with Can't Deny It, it was you got New York, you got Long Beach, you got the Bay. So
Mm-hmm.
I think really a lot of the best collaborations in rap history are from people from different areas working together because of the different mentality.
Mm-hmm.
But with working with Nate and Fabulous in particular, what was the vibe or the energy and the collaborative process for the three of you with Can't Deny It?
They're really okay. So can't deny it. Um, wasn't I didn't collab with anybody except for Duro and Clue. So Duro and Clue, which was Desert Storm at the time, for people who don't know, they had just signed him. Now, the beat I wanted to give to Busta Rhymes, right? That's who that beat was for. But they were in LA, and I had did Cream 2000 with Ghostface and Raekwon, right, for Clues tape that came out at that time. So I was there, I was playing them beats, and they heard that beat. And he was like, I don't want this beat. I was like, bro, I'm kind of fucking with Busta with that one, but if I don't get no answer or whatever, then we'll try to work it. So he ended up recording it. So when he sent me the record, it didn't have Nate Dogg on it yet. But I was fucking with it. I was like, I like this. So I was telling the homie was just talking about this the other day. It's like, I remember when you got that. And he was like, I'm fucking with it. But I had to like see what Busta was gonna do. He didn't fuck around with it. So then I was like, it's a green light. Then I heard the record with Nate Dogg because I wasn't there when Nate Dogg did it. So then they sent me that. I thought he was cool. He was just way mellow, way laid back or something as far as Fab. But I liked it because it was like some East Coast shit on he was spitting. But once Nate got on there, it was like, oh man, it was undeniable to me then. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be crazy. And I start hearing it on the radio all the time. You know, this is yeah. So it was just dope, man. You know what I'm saying? All that shit be dope. You know, and the crazy shit is it's not there unless you just like right now. I get off with you and I don't know what's in my future. I go in that room, I could today make the beat that you see in a year from now or a month or two and it's out. But if I didn't go in the room right now and do it, it would not be there. Like, so you get aware of the fact that you can anytime you can make like a history moment and you go back there and it just makes it special. And it's part of your hustle. You be like, bro, you start looking back, bro, if I didn't just get up and go do that beat that one day, I wouldn't have this money coming in today that came in for me to pay this light bill or whatever the fuck. And it's just like, damn, you know, it's definitely dope. It's special, man. For me, this whole thing is special. You know what I'm saying? I know I deserve it because I work hard for it, but I don't be. It's just like it's just a surreal thing for me. You know what I'm saying? But to have been in it and did the things and the memories. And Snoop was telling me, uh, you know, you like basically you in the game, and while you playing, you don't be you know, you could watch what you did once you out the game, once you stop playing, you on the bench or you know, you out the league with a basketball analogy he was using. But I get it, man. You in it and time goes by so fast while you in it and you still trying to keep going. And you know, so shit like this is cool to sit back and really look at the history, go down like intricate old school history you going into with these underground independent songs, you know what I'm saying, and breaking them down and going through their history because you just still going. I'm right now thinking, okay, I gotta mix this one song. I get off, I'm gonna mix this. I gotta sit in this. I need to make that, you know, and is Jay-Z working right now? Matter of fact, I need to call Big Johns. I need to get on, you know what I'm saying? All kind of little shit, but who knows what it's gonna turn into? And that's the brilliance of the whole shit that I love, you know. This is an intellect. Like I'm just think of something, and then now it's a physical thing because you can physically hear it, and then that could turn into money. But it mostly turns into good times and good people having fun and love. You know what I mean? Ultimately, it's love. You know. But I digress.
Well, speaking of love, one of my favorite beats of yours, if maybe my favorite, is the Yay Area beat for 40.
Right.
And that you made more than a decade after your professional debut.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of my favorite beats of all time and probably my favorite beat of yours. But
Mm-hmm.
for you, I wanted you to break down, like we've been talking a lot about this during this interview and we've talked about this a little bit over the years, but the ability to adapt and adjust and to be able to, let's just pretend that is, for what I'm saying, your best beat that you ever did, but you did it 10 years after you got on the game. Like
Mm-hmm.
how do you know to push the ways to push yourself to be able to keep elevating to where Yay Area comes out, or California with Mount Westmore, which just came out, comes out, and that's great too. Like how do you know how to push yourself separately than everything else?
I don't know. It's that innate. It's that whatever that is that's pushing you, man. The same shit that always pushed me to even leave at Montgomery, Alabama. And it's just something pushing you. You don't know what it's gonna be or nothing, but so you just do it. You're just pushed to do it. It's almost like somebody's talking to you, like, go in there now. Go do this. Do that. Go. No, 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 don't do that. Go now. And then you just like, it's just pushing you. Okay, now go to LA and go. Why? Why am I just go? I'll tell you later. You'll find out. Okay, I'm going. And you go or go in. You just don't know what it is. And like that beat is something I had sampled Diggable Planets before that same sample, like when I was in Alabama. And so I'm like, yeah, look, brought that shit back up and just did it mobbed out. Like, just found a clap. I forgot I got that clap, maybe De La Soul or some record or something. And I just start piecing it together, man. It was just, man, maybe 10 minutes to make the beat. You know what I'm saying? Like when they be cool, they don't take long. You know what I'm saying? They make themselves. Like I'm just there piecing it together. Like, it's like just, almost like those we used to get when I was young, these cars, and you got to put the cars together and shit. What do you call those? And you would paint them and shit.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like they got the directions how to put them together. I used to always be into that. And then it's like that. Like you got directions to put it together, but you just putting it together. Like, so that's what I think of when I think of Yay Area. It was a blast from the past that I brought to the time where we were at then. And it was different. It was a 1-2 boom, clap, clap, boom, clap. The style of the beat was different. And so I started doing beats like that too, just boom, just on the one and the clap, no intricate drum pattern, just 1, 2, 1, 2. And and it was a nice little meld of like the jazz, little sample in there, but it was, the drums was simple, more hip hop simple. I sampled them, and then I was playing a lot like keys and shit in there, synths and bass line, so it had this mobby. It was almost like everything. That's kind of like, it reminds me of even I Can't Deny It or Change the Game. It's just drums, bass line. It's more like a West Coasty, but it ain't. You can't put your finger on exactly where in the West Coast it came from or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't the Dre West Coast. That ain't the DJ Quick. That, you know what I'm saying? That ain't Above the Law. That ain't Eazy-E and them. So what is this? So that's it.
Yeah. Well, there it is. Rick Rock, man. You got a lot of stuff going out. Of course, Rick Rock Beats. For people that haven't picked those up, check them out. You can listen to them worldwide. Support. Got them out Westmore. What else should people be looking out for? Not now, but right now.
Right. Look out for that Battle Locust out. Been out, working on a new one. I'm working on my new project. It's a double album called Grind, 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 Then Shine, and the Forward Movement Project. Those are coming soon. The video's dropping this weekend on BET Jams, and I'm gonna put it up on all the formats. But yeah, so I'm working on my shit. A lot of records I'm doing as well. But I always say you'll see them when they come out. Sometimes they don't come out, so I don't brag on everything. But just working, man. Moving more into the TV movie space. I think that's eventually where I'm gonna end up. So I'm doing a lot of stuff in that space and just trying to keep pushing, man. .com. So look for me, man. Rick Rock Beats, everything. You know what I'm saying? Insta thing, Face thing, Twitter thing, all of those. So yeah, look out.
All right. Well, there it is, man. Really appreciate you coming through.
For sure. Appreciate you, brother, for having me.